I think it's lazy writing. I think we've had our third disfigured Bond bad guy in a row now.
Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations. I've been hearing about this movie since Cannes, and I think it's maybe one of the most killer films of all time. It's incredible concept, amazing. Aaron, could you just start and tell us a little bit about your conceit?
It's a movie about an actor who has the opportunity through some medical procedure to change his face, and he does so. He becomes the most handsome man in the world, and his life is ruined and his career is destroyed.
Oh, it's a tough trade-off. Sebastian, it's a kind of a meta role, right? As someone who had to not only sit in the makeup chair for the transformation, but then also play sort of the counterpart. Were you trepidatious at all to do this because of like how much of your image would be a part of it?
I think I was just more cautious and wanting to kind of serve the story the right way, and obviously capture exactly what Aaron had envisioned, and it was an important story, right? Because it's sort of a subject that doesn't really get a lot of light on it, and so I think we just wanted to do it right and find whatever it took to make it right.
Absolutely. Adam, could you tell us just a bit about your character and sort of your experience?
So Oswald, the character, is this really gregarious, successful, like warm guy who just sort of turns up. And it's a very different character to me, particularly as a disabled actor.
Yeah.
And the roles I've normally been given are sort of like shy, retiring, sort of like meek and mild. So to go something on the other end of the spectrum, but it's also more like my real life personality, was a fun one. And to have the interplay Oswald has with all the other characters is really interesting to watch. And there was a real feeling out process there as well, but it was a great little role, and I'm really grateful to have had the opportunity to work with Aaron again, and also to work with these two fabulous actors.
It's interesting that you said you get to play sort of an opposite end of a spectrum. I saw a documentary a couple months ago about people with cleft palate, and the producer was telling me that he feels that people with facial differences are often portrayed very specifically in narrative stuff,
yes,
villainous or insidious. So could you talk a bit about that?
Well, so normally there are three sort of like kinds of roles or tropes or stereotypes, whatever vernacular one wants to use. There's either the villain, that because I have a disfigurement, I want to kill Batman or James Bond. Then there's the victim, the woe is me, small violin. And then there's the false hero. Like, because I have a disfigurement, but do like regular dude stuff, whatever regular dude stuff is, I'm somehow braver than the average guy.
Yeah. Do you think there's any sort of onus or responsibility on creatives to address that and change that, and how?
Yeah, I think it's lazy writing. I think we've had our third disfigured Bond bad guy in a row now, and I just think it's a bit lazy, and it's also why are non-disabled people writing about disability without consultation,
yeah,
or any of that malarkey? Because when that happens, the end result, you might fluke it and get it right once, but 9 times out of 10, it's going to be really inauthentic and inaccurate, and serves not only the disabled community appallingly, but disabled cinema lovers appallingly.
It's really cool that this movie can, sort of change that conversation. Renat, you've had this incredible couple of years, and you're here with like 40 movies. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been a lot. I'm tired.
Tell us about your character in this.
So, yeah, she's a kind of a girl next door, very kind, very a good person. She doesn't really let herself fall in love with her neighbor, that Sebastian played, Edward, in the beginning, and she has a very strong vision for her life. She wants to be a director and a writer, but because of how he looks, I don't think she allows herself to fall in love. And then when he disappears, she gets obsessed by telling his story and taking his story. And she's kind of lost for a little bit, and then she meets Oswald. He comes into the mix of this theater play, and he kind of gets her back to the good path, and like his character is so, he's celebrating himself so much, so she gets so inspired and kind of lets herself be who she is, and yeah, becomes happy again without saying too much.
I have to ask, because I think everyone connected so much with Worst Person in the World. Do you find that you're only getting scripts for like a certain type of actor, or do people come up on the street and say like, I'm not having kids and you're my hero? Or
yeah, I feel people really have a personal relationship to that movie. So a lot of people come up with, it's been so many different kind of meetings and stories that I've got to share with people. But no, this character is very different. Yeah, it is.
Awesome. So Sebastian, how long did you actually have to spend in makeup and hair and all that kind of stuff?
It was probably like maybe 1.5 to 2 hours.
Okay,
I think it was more, that the Mike Marino who did it was balancing another job at the same time as this, so it was a little bit like kind of catching him when he was available. But yeah, I mean, it was he was great. He really understood what Aaron was looking for, and I think it was really specific, to this film that we had someone like that.
Do you find the process to be like meditative or helpful, or is it really like awkward and painful? And
well, listen, anytime you have any, bit of time to kind of like reflect on what's the day is good. I mean, here we had like 22 days. And
Oh, wow.
It was like,
That's
we were shooting on film, and Aaron was doing a lot of one takes. And so there's only a certain amount of chances you have to sort of nail it. So I think anytime we had, it just went towards preparing for that.
Sure thing. Aaron, you shot only one takes on a lot of stuff?
Well, we shot a lot of oneers, as they call them. So we try to cover a scene in 1 or 2 takes, as few as possible. We would get as many takes as we could. We were 22 days. We would get maybe 3-4 takes of any scene, and once we felt we got it, we'd move on to the next thing.
So a big part of the spiral that Aaron mentioned is, I think, essentially about an actor losing a part. Can you all remember a time when you lost a part and how it felt, or something you really wanted that didn't come through?
No.
No. Yeah. Good.
I think I hyperventilated in an audition one time. I auditioned for that movie Mother by Darren Aronofsky for one of the brothers. Domhnall Gleeson came and had it, and I got really very nervous about that. Yeah, I didn't get it, so.
Oh, okay. Well, you're doing okay.
It's all good.
You're fine.
It's always one part, right? There's always something.
Yeah.
Aaron, do you find that when you do, like, I think the movie's been praised for its sort of, its sense of realism and obviously it's high tension. Do you find that when you have concepts like this, they're easy to go out and make? Like, how is the...
Sorry.
Sorry. Is a concept like this, which I think some people think is a little, it's a little bit of a heavy lift. Is that easy for you to go out and get financing for and sell and make?
It's impossible. Sebastian, it was Sebastian. I talked to Sebastian. He read the script and he said, I want to make this movie right now. Basically, I have some time in the next, this summer. And within a very short period of time, we had financing and we were shooting within 7 weeks of me meeting Sebastian.
I think pretty much my second email to Aaron was, have you seen the movie Worst Person in the World?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, it's like, do you think we could even
we were both on
possibly
the
get
same
her?
page, yeah.
Yeah, it was, I'm like, do it now before it's never gonna happen.
I'll bring my own costume. So we're here today with Audible. I'm just curious, what do you guys think about audio as a storytelling sort of vehicle, and are you podcast people?
Do you like podcasts?
I'm a huge
Really?
podcast guy. Yeah. Because I do a lot of commuting and traveling. So you put your headphones on, listen to a lot of comedy. I'm a huge pro wrestling mark, so I listen to a lot of the Wrestle Talk stuff. I've gotten a lot of recommendations while I've been here to check out movie things. Like, I'm a big fan of Switchblade Sisters, which puts a real focus on like women in the film industry.
Oh, cool.
I really like that one. And what else am I listening to? And just loads of, there's no such thing as a fish. is a podcast done by the researchers of a panel show in the UK called QI. And it's all like the little weird facts they've learned researching for the show that week. And it's really interesting and really funny and quite light. That one's quite good. Am I allowed to say I like Joe Rogan, or is that going to get me cancelled?
Maybe.
Maybe, okay. I know who Joe Rogan is. I'll meet you all halfway.
Smartless is really good.
Yeah,
though. I mean,
very
those
good.
guys like, and the Dax Shepard one is
Yeah.
also another one that's really great.
Yeah.
American Life is another good one. I mean, there's like so
Variety podcast.
Variety
Like
Yeah.
actor on actor. That's always the
Just exactly. Well, thank you so much. Just to finish up, I feel like as an alumni, I have to ask you, how do you feel about the state of Marvel and their storytelling and what's going on with all those guys?
I'm excited. I'm going to go back basically in a month or so, and
With
I've
Thunderbolts.
missed it. Yeah, with Thunderbolts. Yeah, and it's going to be a great cast, and you know, it's like their batting average is so high, and it's just so difficult to always, you know, land everything in the right way.
Sure thing.
But it's always been a great experience, and I think with this one particularly because of also Jake Schreier, who did Beef, and everyone
Yeah.
else that was involved there has come on board. So I think there's a lot of good things.
Totally. Do you think Downey should come back?
I mean, he seems like he's doing fine. Wasn't he here? Like he was here. He was here, right?
This year?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, he was
we
here.
missed him. Damn.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Congratulations.
Thank
We're so
you.
excited for your
Thank
premiere.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.